If men can walk around the streets without a shirt on, I think women should have every right to do so. There's honestly no difference. It is just a set of nipples.
And it was at this point that I discovered that I am a feminist. Don't you see, guys? We need to be allies. We need to liberate women from their clothing. Women covering up their breasts is just toxic patriarchy, and I won't stand for it. I'm kidding, of course. I'm very glad that women are wearing clothes in public for 3 important reasons. Number 1, most women are ugly. I am grateful that every time I'm walking down the street, I don't have to look at overweight old ladies with like saggy breasts. Clothes are a blessing. For every 1 woman that I'd like to see naked, there's probably 50 that I don't. Number 2, I don't want any other men looking at my partner's breasts. Call me controlling, but if the goal is to prevent unwanted sexual advances from other men, I'm thinking her wearing clothing is a really good place to start. Which brings me to the 3rd reason. I don't want to play this stupid game that women are playing where they sexualize themselves and then get mad at men for having a sexual response. Check out this video I found. This guy goes out onto the streets and interviews women when they're out clubbing, in the nightlife scene. Look at what they're wearing. Look at how they're behaving. If a woman is claiming that she's dressing this way just for herself, she's lying. What, you think that she puts on all that makeup, does her hair, wears all those clothes when she's just sitting around the house by herself for her own personal enjoyment? No, absolutely not. She's doing it for the benefit of others. She's trying to attract attention for herself. Women want to have their cake and eat it too. They want the ability to soak up all of that attention, to boost their self-esteem by having all these men hit on them, spurred on by the obvious sexual response that they themselves are generating. But at the same time, they want the privilege of being able to gaslight everybody by denying that that's what they're doing. They want to be able to pretend that they are not sexualizing themselves. And so if some man comes along and has a sexual response, she has the ability to virtue signal and put herself on like a high horse and criticize him. How dare you be viewing me in a sexual way, you sexist pig. One of the reasons I don't want topless women on the streets. Can you imagine how much of a nightmare that would be? It's like, look, boys, look at my breasts. Look how empowered I am, but also, how dare you look? No, fuck that. I'm not interested in playing that game. Women, you are free to dress how you want, but you don't get to put on a top like that with your tits falling out and then act all surprised and offended when men notice them. You should be grateful because you had a good run where men were too scared to call you out on your bullshit and your hypocrisy, but that's over. We saw in some of the stories of my course how that ends. And this is part of a larger trend that all men need to be aware of. Women being out there saying, we want equal rights, but now men are starting to call them out on their bullshit. No, you don't want equal rights. What you want are special rights.
Would you describe yourself as a feminist?
Yes.
Do you believe in gender equality?
Yeah, of course.
Okay, so how do you reconcile believing in gender equality but also holding men to their traditional gender roles of paying for the first date?
Well, I'm just saying that's my personal view. A woman being a feminist is just doing whatever you want to do and not being bashed by society for that. And obviously standing up for women's rights and stuff like that. But I don't know, I just feel like this question's really dense.
My question is, if you believe in gender equality, don't you think you ought to split the bill on the first date?
No, because my main concern with gender equality is through, yes, in society, fixing that and through, the system. But yeah, I don't, oh my God.
Oh, it's so painful. Did you hear the part when she said that being a feminist is just doing whatever you want to do? Don't you love it when they say the quiet part out loud? For anybody who accuses feminists of being inconsistent, you are wrong. Feminists are always consistent in that whatever position they hold, it's consistently the one that benefits her. If you don't understand that yet, then I'm going to explain to you how to spot when a woman is not actually asking for equal rights, she's asking for special rights. But first, we need to talk about skincare. Men are beginning to understand that women care about a man's appearance. One of the reasons why men hit the gym to increase their strength and their muscles, because they know women find that attractive. But women are also attracted to men who look healthy and young, which is what occurs when you have good skin. And the good news is that achieving good skin is 100 times easier than going to the gym. So if you want to upscale your appearance and you want maximum results for minimum effort, Tiege Hanley has got you covered. This is a skincare company whose products are designed specifically for men. The starter box comes with everything that you need. You've got your AM cream, your PM cream, your facial scrub, your daily moisturizer. It comes with an instruction card that tells you how much to use, when to use it. It couldn't be more simple. And if you live inside the US, they'll even ship it directly to your door for free. People love this product. Check out these recent reviews. I've been using for over a year and it makes a huge difference to my skin. Very nice, very easy to follow. Clears my skin and makes me glow. You want good skin for an affordable price with low effort, then Tiege Hanley is your answer. And because Tiege Hanley is sponsoring this video, they're going to give you a 30% discount when you use my link in the description box below, and they're going to throw in a free gift. Incredible deal. Get onto it. Fix your skin with Tiege Hanley. Okay, back to how to spot a woman who claims that she wants equality, but she actually just wants special treatment. When a couple gets married, she might be a total feminist when it comes to keeping the income that she's generating. She says women need to be financially empowered. It only makes sense that she has a separate bank account that her income goes into. She needs to feel independent and that her money is safe. But at the same time, you are the man, you are the provider. Your money is our money, and we need to use that to pay for rent, groceries, holidays. It's one rule for you and another rule for her. How does that make sense? She doesn't want equal rights. She wants special rights. And what about when you have children? Well, you're the dad, you're one of the parents, so you need to change the baby, you need to feed the baby. Half of the parenting is your responsibility. You're the dad. You have responsibilities. This needs to be an equal parenting relationship. Oh, but now that we're getting divorced, no, I'm getting the children. I am the mother and the mother is the real parent. If I'm feeling generous, I'll allow the sperm donor visitation rights. Maybe he can take them every second weekend so I can go out drinking with my girlfriends. But most of the time, the children are with me because I'm the real parent. Where's the clamoring for equality now? You understand, she doesn't want equal rights. She wants special rights. That's what tripped up this woman so much. It's her own cognitive dissonance. In her mind, she only wants to be treated equally. But when he points out the obvious, he asks the question, well then why not make an equal contribution to the finances for the date? Her mind completely falls apart. She doesn't want to confront the fact that she's not actually asking for equality. She wants special treatment. So many modern women seem unable to actually acknowledge the fact that the special treatment that they enjoy is indicative of their privilege.
Women are getting free meals with guys that they're not even interested in.
Oh yeah,
or have no attraction to.
When I was dating, there was probably in my group girl chat, probably a good solid 3 weeks where I didn't have to spend any money on groceries or food because I had a date and I knew that nothing was going to happen. I just knew that I was getting a free meal out of it, so I had a date lined up.
It's just so disgusting. So many women out there acting like the inequality that exists between men and women is just all negative. It's sexist, it's discriminatory, and they are completely blind to their own privilege. And I'm not talking about stuff like this, tricking men into paying for your meals when you have no intention of actually dating them. I mean, it's disgusting, but that's pretty trivial. I'm talking about manual labor. I'm talking about military service. I'm talking about the pressure that men feel to stay in jobs that they hate, that are crushing their soul and their spirit because they feel like they need to provide for their family. Those things will never be brought up by a woman in a discussion about equal rights. I've seen this in my Hey Hero requests over and over again. Women are only ever bringing up discussions of equality and equal treatment, equal rights when they want more, when they are trying to selfishly get more for themselves. No woman is ever talking about equal rights as an avenue for her sacrificing something that she has to benefit a man. No woman is ever confronted by a dangerous mugger and then turns to her boyfriend and says, you know what, sweetheart, you protected me from the last dangerous criminal that tried to attack us. So I've got this one. Let me do it. I'm feeling like we need some equality here. Let me say it again, just in case it hasn't yet sunk in. These women are not looking for equal rights. They're looking for special rights. The idea of a 50-50 relationship doesn't make sense. That paradigm can't be measured properly because men and women are too different. There's no proper one-for-one comparison. And I think that some women are starting to realize the inconsistency of this equal rights myth.
50-50 relationships do not work. We don't want roommates, we want providers. And if a man asks you what you bring to the table, it's because they want to be taken care for financially. And girls, watch out for those broke men because we don't want those in our life.
I know some of what she said is probably pissed off a lot of people because it just seems like she's looking for a sugar daddy. But here's the thing is that there's nothing wrong with a woman looking for a man to be a provider. This woman is saying that she doesn't want a broke man, and I get it. Who does? For all of civilization, women have looked to men to provide for them. Women are attracted to men who are well off because they can provide a greater lifestyle, abundance for their children. I'm not going to shame her for that, but she's so ridiculous in her acting offended that a man might ask, well, what are you going to contribute back to the relationship? What am I going to get in return? When men ask, what do you bring to the table? That is a completely valid question. You want a wealthy man, you want a provider. Of course, no worries, no shame whatsoever. But now that I'm providing all of that, let me ask, what am I going to get in return?
What do you bring to the table?
I don't know. I have a really long wingspan.
God, this generation of women, I'm so glad I'm not in the dating market anymore. But the discussion of reciprocity in a relationship is a totally valid one. If a man is working hard, providing money, doing his masculine job, then he wants to know, what does he get in return? Specifically, what is your feminine contribution? For any women listening, do you understand that's the part that stings? It's not the desire that women have for a wealthy man, for a man to be a provider. That part we can stomach. It's the hypocrisy. The women who want to lean into the traditional roles when it comes to what they can get, what they can extract for their own personal benefit from the relationship, but then acting completely offended when there's any suggestion that they should offer something back in return. As men, we value integrity. We value authenticity. We value justice. And this smokescreen of you wanting to protect your feminine privilege, you wanting your special rights, but pretending that you're just out for equality, that does not sit fucking well with men. We can smell it and it stinks. So cut the bullshit. You want all these incredible things from a man? You want him to do all this stuff for you? Great. That's an expression of self-esteem. Go after it. You deserve that. But you've got to be offering something back in return. That's what makes a fair trade, and that's what actual equality looks like. And I want to show one last clip. It's really extraordinary, actually. It's going to restore the faith for a lot of men that there are women out there who understand that they have a feminine duty to provide as well, to make a contribution to the relationship. Let's watch the clip.
I heard you're single.
Yes.
Why is that?
Because I think not all men, a lot of men right now act like women and they just want more. Bring back the patriarchy. I want to stay at home. I want to take care of my kids. What do you mean buy you flowers? What do you mean pay for dinner? What do you mean 50-50? What is that? I don't believe in that.
What do you want? What do you believe?
I want a man to take care of me.
So you want to be a housewife?
I want to be a housewife.
Okay.
Yeah.
The old traditional way?
Traditional. I'll do it. I don't mind. I'll do it. Fuck it.
All right, let's say you meet the guy that does all that. Like, he's willing to take you in and you basically be the woman to take care of everything.
Yeah.
Now, does he got complete control over you? Like saying like, all right, delete your Instagram. You can't be dressing all slutty out on the streets.
Here's my thing. I'm not gonna be dressing all slutty and like having Instagram. If I found the one and he gives me everything I need, he doesn't even have to ask me for that. I already did it.
I like this one. You'll delete it?
Oh yeah, for sure. Without him even having to ask.
What about he wants to every time?
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. For sure. Yeah. 100%. 100%. If he provides for me, he's a good husband. He's loyal. Everything. He's good to our kids. What more could you ask for in a man? That's what I need. I need a provider.
It's an extraordinary clip. I submit that that's actually what equality truly looks like. She doesn't like the men acting like women, you know, like let's just pretend we're all the same. No, like I'm not going to buy you flowers. I need you to do your masculine role. I need you to provide. But I understand I've got my feminine contribution too, and I'm happy to do that. That is a really interesting clip. The one part that really made me squirm was when he suggested it's like, all right, well, if we're in a relationship, does he get to have sex whenever he wants? And I understand what he's getting at, that there is an obligation in relationships to meet the sexual needs of your partner. But the ethics of that, obligation, that can get a bit dicey. But then how are you meant to handle it if you marry a girl and before you got married, your sex life was thriving, it was abundant, but now 5 years later, you barely touch each other? What are the ethical obligations in that situation? I give the full answer to that question, as well as a guide on how to get out of that situation in the full-length version of this video, which is available on my Patreon. What I release here on YouTube, these are just the shortened, abridged versions of my videos. You want access to the full version of this video, come over to Patreon.